Number 20, Goku Super Saiyan God, Dragon Ball Z Battle of Gods. Following a dry spell of new animation for the series, Goku hopped back on the proverbial Nimbus with more than just his classic yellow do. Unable to compete with the God of Destruction Beerus, Goku abandoned the golden locks and unveiled the first new form the franchise had seen in years. It took the Dragon Balls, an ancient legend, and a six-way Saiyan ceremony, but it paid off with not just a new stage of Super Saiyan, but the series' first Super Saiyan God. Goku's displayed near-divine feats of strength before, but his epic first bout with God Ki was literally out of this world. Number 19, Goku and Vegeta, Gogeta, Dragon Ball Z Fusion Reborn. No Potara? No problem. When the incarnation of all evil decides to make the afterlife hell in more ways than one, this Saiyan duo joined fingers to debut a new kind of fusion. The appropriately named Gogeta doesn't just look cool, he's also strong enough to make Janemba wish he still had an afterlife to go to. But what's almost more impressive is that this new form managed to become iconic with barely a few minutes of screen time.
Every force you create has an echo. Your own bad energy will be your undoing.
This isn't the series' first fusion, and it's far from the last, but the outstanding direction and effortlessly cool techniques make Gogeta's debut hard to forget. Number 18, Broly Super Saiyan, Dragon Ball Super Broly. Frieza's 2 for 2 when it comes to instigating Golden Head transformations. After murdering Broly's father, the space tyrant shows off his acting chops and sends the rampaging Saiyan into an utter frenzy.
It's your father! He was killed by a stray energy blast!
As disheartening as it is to see Broly completely lose control of himself, it does provide some of the most bombastic and unreal action the series has ever seen. He's able to keep up with Goku and Vegeta's combined assault as a mere Super Saiyan, and that's without any proper training. Who knew Frieza was such a believable thespian? Thankfully, he got his comeuppance in the form of a glorious thrashing from the same Saiyan he provoked. Now that's some karmic justice.
Run, Frieza! What are you doing? I am the mighty Lord Frieza!
Number 17, Goku Black and Zamasu, Fused Zamasu, Dragon Ball Super. As if this misguided deity didn't have enough of a superiority complex, he decided to fuse with the only worthy individual in the entire cosmos, himself. They were technically from different timelines, but that didn't make the results any less imposing. Zamasu's near-immortal body paired with Goku Black's Saiyan strength was enough to pass judgment upon the entirety of Trunks' timeline, Goku and Vegeta included.
Me, the invincible, the almighty and divine. All hail Zamasu.
As an undeniable novelty about a villain fusing, especially when these stylish upgrades lead to some creative imagery and exceptional fight choreography. The most damning downgrade is that fused Zamasu merging didn't quite quell his penchant for dramatic monologuing.
The lack of reverence you two exhibit in trying to lay hands upon a god. It is the worst kind of sin.
Number 16, Goku, Ultra Instinct Sign, Dragon Ball Super. If there's one thing we know about this energetic anime icon, it's that he doesn't go down easily. After Jiren seemingly ends Goku's tournament prospects, the Saiyan climbs to a new form that's more than your average palette swap. Instead of yet another boost in raw power, this transformation's focus on instinctual movement paved the way for one of the most high-speed and jaw-dropping fights in Super. It isn't enough that he finally landed a blow on Jiren, he proceeds to flex his insane reactions by casually walking through a Ki Blast barrage unscathed. It's a downright epic sequence, but what's even better is that it isn't even Ultra Instinct's full potential.
There used to be a massive power gap between them, but Goku has clearly closed it.
Number 15, Goku Black, Super Saiyan Rosé, Dragon Ball Super. From gold to red to blue, there'd been a lot of Saiyan hairstyles by the time Super rolled around. And yet, Goku's evil doppelganger proved he was more than just a cheap knockoff by presenting his own shiny transformation. Enter Super Saiyan Rosé. Not just one of the most visually distinct forms in the series, but also one of the coolest.
What do you think of it? Quite the color, huh?
While functionally it's not too different from your average gold-haired power-up, the pink tinge adds a lot of personality and flair to Goku Black's techniques. He was already plenty threatening before, but the unique aesthetic ensured that, while he had Goku's face, this villain wasn't forsaking any of his menacing identity. Just ask Vegeta. Number 14, Goku and Vegeta, Super Saiyan God Super Saiyan, Dragon Ball Z, Resurrection F. Blue is an apt color for this brawl, since that's exactly how Frieza feels when he learns his gold form is already irrelevant. Goku's unveiling of the turquoise hair is as breathtaking as it comes, but naturally, no form is complete without a flashy display of strength. Luckily, against Frieza's new golden coat, this scuffle is so bright, it practically needs sunglasses. The Blues don't stop there, and Vegeta reveals that, for once, he's on par with Goku thanks to his own teal do. It is immeasurably satisfying to see this duo handily whoop their age-old nemesis, even if the form's redundant name isn't quite as cool as the new color. Super Saiyan Blue rolls off the tongue much easier. Number 13, Goku and Vegeta, Vegito, Dragon Ball Z. Step aside Gotenks, there's a new fusion in town, and this one doesn't have to do that silly dance. Admittedly, Goku and Vegeta have always had a pretty glaring weakness in the teamwork department, but a pair of Potara earrings helped smooth that over real quick. It's a neat bit of character development to see them literally come together for the greater good, even if the ensuing fusion is a bit overconfident. Vegito's easygoing swagger is a perfect foil against the self-serious Super Boo. And don't even get us started on all that smack talk. To be fair, as the two strongest heroes in the series combined, their confidence is totally earned. Number 12, Majin Buu and Evil Buu, Super Buu, Dragon Ball Z. Training, eating candy, pretty much the same thing. The bubblegum-looking Majin Buu had turned countless innocent people into snacks. So it's deeply poetic when he is chocolatified himself and eaten by a manifestation of his own evil. Apparently, Majin Buu plus Evil Buu equals Super Buu, who has all the power of his prior forms with a much more sinister mentality. It's a little sad to see the round one go after he developed such a heartwarming bond with Mr. Satan, but the evolution raised the stakes and led to some amazing fights. Though for what it's worth, Earth was probably better off with the candy-eating Boo. Number 11, Goten and Trunks, Gotenks, Dragon Ball Z. Leaving two superpowered kids in charge of defending the planet probably breaks a few parenting rules, but these Saiyan offspring are the exception. Before their fathers did it, Goten and Trunks linked fingers and debuted the first ever fusion in the entire franchise.
Fusion!
As immature as he is all-powerful, Gotenks would sooner come up with cool names for his attacks than actually use them in combat.
We're not doing this as Super Saiyans.
Hey, at least he got serious when put up against Super Boo. Not. He holds back his Super Saiyan 3 transformation for dramatic effect, a gaffe that nearly cost them the fight. Gotenks may be much more composed than Goten or Trunks, but at least it's one less kid to babysit. Number 10, Semi-Perfect Cell, Perfect Cell, Dragon Ball Z. Like a radar to a Dragon Ball, Cell tracked down Android 17 and 18, but he didn't achieve his flawless form alone. It takes a village to royally screw the Earth, and that honor belongs in part to Krillin and Vegeta.
Yes, I do.
The former for not destroying 18 when he had the chance, and the latter for putting his pride above the planet. While it spells doom for the Z-Warriors, at least the transformation itself features all the scale and spectacle befitting this kind of turning point.
How will our heroes face up against this ultimate foe?
It's hard to label anything as perfect, but Cell's satisfied smirk as he completes his mission comes pretty damn close. Number 9, Vegeta, Super Saiyan, Dragon Ball Z. At a time when donning the bottle blonde look was still a novelty, Goku's perennial rival launched back onto the scene with a big bang. Don't get it wrong, Vegeta was far from a hero, but the androids were a worthy stomping ground to prove he'd surpassed Goku. He wasn't just spiky hair and power levels though. The new form also prodded him to pose important moral questions like, do androids feel fear?
Does a machine like yourself ever experience fear?
Back before he was fully rehabilitated, but after he was a straight-up villain, this was the first time it was easy to really root for Vegeta. He'd finally caught up with his rival and tore off an android's hands just to prove it. Number 8, Frieza, Golden Frieza, Dragon Ball Z Resurrection F. It took a few extra years, but this infamous villain finally achieved what Saiyans had been doing since Namek. To be fair, Frieza had already transformed a handful of times, so his new coat of paint was a bit shinier than Goku's initial Golden Dew. It's nice to see an old villain return to relevance, especially since the palette swap also contrasts nicely against the ever-growing list of Saiyan hair colors.
I know gold's a bit gauche, but I wanted to ensure you grasp my new position atop the pecking order.
It's just a real shame that by going for the gold, Frieza epically face-planted in front of Goku and Vegeta's Super Saiyan Blue. Despite the less than gilded debut performance, the visually arresting revival of this classic villain is at least worthy of a silver medal. Number 7, Goku, Super Saiyan 3, Dragon Ball Z. In a franchise no stranger to dramatic power-ups, few literally shake the earth as much as this. Goku stretches his lung capacity to the max with a primal roar that tells even Boo to stay clear of his home or risk some serious thrashing.
And this
What's he doing?
is to go even further beyond!
All that bravado lives up to expectations with a massive power spike, a no-nonsense demeanor, and a lot more golden hair. For the low cost of his eyebrows, Goku told the planet, Boo, the universe, and beyond that he wasn't done evolving just yet.
I'm sorry that took so much longer than the others, but I haven't had much occasion to practice this one. This is what I call a Super Saiyan 3.
Much like the hair, this form is all the coolness of Super Saiyan, but just more of it. What's not to love? Number 6, Gogeta, Super Saiyan Blue, Dragon Ball Super Broly. As Janemba will attest, this fusion has a habit of making quick work of his foes, and Broly is no exception. Gogeta was easily flying circles around the belligerent Saiyan before, let alone when he decided to skip the rainbow and go straight from gold to blue. Rocking a new hair color, Gogeta demonstrates his signature style with a aplomb, and delivers a gloriously animated Kamehameha that's in serious contention for one of the best in the whole series. With power levels high enough to crack open reality itself, it's a testament to the phenomenal production values that this clash somehow does its overpowered combatants justice. Number 5, Goku, Super Saiyan 4, Dragon Ball GT. When a parasitic alien infests most of Earth, this grand tour proved Saiyans could go even further beyond, but not in the way most expected. Instead of adding more hair extensions to the Super Saiyan 3 mullet, Goku's newest leap in evolution harkened back to one of his race's classic forms, the Great Ape. The bestial qualities are a welcome breath of fresh air after years of golden locks, especially since it modernizes one of the franchise's earliest transformations in an inventive way.
But will Goku again have to deal with the same lack of control he had as a giant ape? Find out on the next episode of Dragon Ball.
The badass design and epic fights to come are appreciated, but this form's biggest contribution is proving that GT could still meaningfully add to the series' lore. Number 4, Vegeta, Super Saiyan Blue Evolved, Dragon Ball Super. Goku wasn't the only one shattering his limits in the Tournament of Power. Vegeta's never been one to linger behind for long, so when his rival debuted a new silver form, the egotistical Saiyan decided to challenge Jiren with his own upgraded transformation.
I gave my word from one Saiyan to another, and I have to keep it! I'll shatter through my limits, in my own way, on my own terms! And then, Jiren, I will defeat you!
Bolstered by his will, his pride, and his promise to Kaba, Vegeta goes from blue to, well, a different shade of blue. Repetitive colors aside, it's notable as Vegeta's only form to date that Goku hasn't reached himself. For once, Vegeta wasn't just riding his rival's wake, he was forging his own path. Plus, if his showing against Jiren is anything to go by, this matured state skipped pretty far ahead in evolution. Number 3, Gohan Super Saiyan 2, Dragon Ball Z. Goku's son never wanted to fight, so it's poignant that the only thing capable of spurring him on is the dying words of an android who learned to love the Earth. When Cell crushes 16, he also unleashes the power that had been boiling inside of Gohan since his very first appearance.
And I won't watch this anymore!
The beautiful imagery and outstanding score lead towards an epic scream that culminates literally hundreds of episodes of build-up. It's all but impossible to resist getting chills from this iconic moment that's fittingly just as emotionally affecting as it is exhilarating.
It is a secret we have known before Gohan could even form words in his mouth.
With one transformation, Dragon Ball powered up Gohan from a great character into a masterful one. Number 2, Goku Super Saiyan Dragon Ball Z. With Namek 5 minutes away from becoming space dust, Gohan's stubborn dad faced off against his toughest adversary yet, with nothing more than some ki, an old Saiyan folklore, and plenty of willpower. But when Frieza makes the mistake of hurting Goku's friends, he counters with a transformation that's iconic to not just Dragon Ball, but all of anime. The haunting yell as the world crumbles around him is downright cathartic, particularly since this was the first time Goku ever tried on the bleach blonde look. This moment's impact on the franchise can't be understated, but it's how well it caps off this fight in particular that makes it the gold standard in more ways than one. Before we get to our number 1 pick, here's some honorable mentions. Frieza's final form. There's a good reason that out of all of his forms, this has remained his most iconic look. Gogeta Super Saiyan 4. The only thing cooler than a fusion is a fusion that can go Super Saiyan 4.
Where are the other two?
The Saiyans? They're here. I am they. We are one.
Goku Super Saiyan Blue Kaioken. Bringing back this long-forgotten technique led to double the auras and twice the fun.
At this point, I only have about a 1 in 10 chance of pulling it off. And if I mess this move up, it's gonna do a lot more than just knock me out of this tournament.
Vegeta and Baby Super Baby Vegeta. Being overtaken by a parasite probably wasn't Vegeta's idea of getting stronger than Goku.
Now, the son of the man who killed my people will forever be part of me. My plan to make toughles of this entire planet is finally in place.
Top, God of Destruction. This Pride Trooper abandoned his just ways to become a weapon of destruction, literally. Number 1, Goku, Mastered Ultra Instinct, Dragon Ball Super. Somehow, someway, this spiky-haired Saiyan manages to keep climbing higher. He'd unlocked new forms before, including in this very tournament, but none had commanded this kind of attention. As each God of Destruction stands to offer their respect, it becomes clear that the silver hair isn't just another leap for Goku. It's an exclamation point on a journey over 20 years in the making.
There can be no doubt. This is the true power, complete in all its majesty. This is autonomous Ultra Instinct!
Ultra Instinct was cool before, but with hype music and stellar animation backing it up, the Mastered form delivers one of the most iconic brawls in the entire franchise. Goku went beyond his limits for the sake of everyone he loved, and really, there's nothing more classic Dragon Ball than that.
When anyone tries to hurt my friends, it's gonna pay!
Did you enjoy this video? Check out these other clips from WatchMojo, and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.